What's up guys, I'm Atomous, and today we're going to be talking about Xymox Technologies. This company is really awesome. They're really great at enabling the power of touch. They have technologies that help the world feel your products.
Wrong Xymox.
Oh yeah, you're right. So today guys, we're actually going to be talking about the clan of Xymox. This is a legendary rock band. Really love their music. Let's take a listen to some of this stuff.
What you know about rolling down in the...
Yo bro, you trying to get a copyright strike? Turn that off.
Alright, dude, I got it. Don't you have anything better to be doing? Like, can't you go practice your Boston Crusaders music or something like that? Alright guys, for reals, today we're going to be talking about Xymox Percussion. For those of you that have followed me for a substantial period of time, or if you've been a member of the marching percussion community, you probably know about Xymox Percussion, maybe have ordered something from them, and are pretty well aware of who they are as a company and the products that they sell. For those of you that are new percussionists, or do not know anything about Xymox Percussion, here is a little bit of info about them as a company and the products that they offer. Xymox Percussion is a drum pad company based out of the west coast of the United States of America. They initially were based in California, but are now based in Washington State. They've been a drum pad company for 25 years and are very well known for their extremely customizable drum pads, specifically their snare drum reserve pads and their tenor pads. Xymox Percussion offers a wide variety of products that are extremely unique because of the customization, the color schemes, and also the custom laminates that you can get. In addition to their extremely customizable products, Xymox Percussion has amassed a huge social media following over the last 2 decades. They have a huge following on YouTube and Instagram, as well as Facebook and Twitter. Most of Xymox Percussion's social media pages are inactive except for their Instagram page. However, on their YouTube page, you can find videos featuring multiple talented artists, performers, and musicians using their drum pads and performing drum covers in their videos. Because of the popularity of Xymox Percussion's products and also their social media following, they've risen to be one of the most popular drum pad companies in the world over the last 2 decades. Now, with this popularity comes a lot of controversy because Xymox Percussion is not necessarily loved nor respected by everybody in the marching percussion community. Xymox Percussion has a lot of controversy surrounding their shipping times, the quality of their products, and also the quality of their customer service and how they conduct themselves professionally. I'm making this video to not only address my own personal experience with Xymox Percussion, but also to highlight the experiences of other people with Xymox Percussion, and also to address Xymox Percussion's professional reputation as a business. The goal of this video is to be as informative as possible so that you all as the viewers can make your own informed opinions and decisions before buying your next drum pad. Before we get into it, make sure you drop a comment down below about your experiences with Xymox Percussion, drop a like on this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe. Alright, let's get into my personal experience with Xymox Percussion. Alright, so my experience with Xymox Percussion began in May of 2018. I decided to have the bright idea to order an Xymox snare drum pad because I wanted one for my videos for moments when I couldn't use a drum in certain locations. So I ordered my pad in May of 2018, and I received my pad in November of 2018. I waited a full 6 months to receive my order. At many points, I questioned whether or not I was even going to receive the pad, started cracking jokes, and was pretty done with the whole waiting process. I had a 22 email chain conversation with Xymox customer service. Throughout my conversations with Xymox customer service, they treated me respectfully, they weren't hostile towards me, and they weren't necessarily unprofessional. Eventually, as we got later into the email chain, they started giving me dates that I would expect my drum pad by, and of course, I would wait. The date would roll by, no drum pad. And it's kind of just the same cycle and loop. Most people are pretty aware of this loop with Xymox customer service, where they tell you or at least try and guarantee that you'll receive your order, and there's no prevail. You don't receive it. It was only until I started talking about refund and canceling my order that I actually received it in November. Like I said, I'm very fortunate to have received it within 6 months. Now, after I received my drum pad from Xymox Percussion, I entered a phase that I would call the Xymox High. Now, a lot of you are going to ask me, Atomous, what the heck is the Xymox High? I think of the Xymox High as being like this. You've waited so long for an order, the order being a drum pad from Xymox Percussion, that once you finally receive the order, you are so ecstatic and excited about the order that you don't see anything wrong with it, and you don't even put into question, really, is it a good product? More so, you're super happy with how it looks, and it's the best thing ever, right? It wasn't really until 2 weeks into me owning my Xymox pad that my friend Dissertator came up to me at band and he told me, I really don't like the way that this pad feels. It doesn't feel like a real marching snare drum. And I was pretty confused by that comment initially, but it took me only a few more weeks to really realize, wow, this pad does not feel like a marching snare drum. Now, that opinion is my own. Not everybody has that experience and opinion about Xymox products or their pads and how closely they resemble an actual drum. However, that's my ending experience with Xymox pads. I've played on multiple ones, about 4 different Xymox pads actually, and to me they really don't feel that great and don't feel like an accurate marching snare. After I kind of exited out of the Xymox High, I really wasn't using my pad that much. I only used the pad for several YouTube videos throughout 2019 and occasionally for streams. My Xymox drum pad started breaking in November of 2019. It took 6 months for my pad to get to me, and it only took a year for it to start breaking. As of today, the rim on my pad is completely broken, the laminate peeled off, the gum rubber also peeled off, and it lost the snare drum reserve sound, basically rendering it completely unplayable and not very fun to play on, and it doesn't sound good for videos. So that's my experience with Xymox Percussion. I'm not saying that is everybody's experience with Xymox Percussion. My experience is my own, and I recognize that, and I have my own opinions, very strong opinions I'll be about Xymox, but that is that. Alright, so next I want to highlight other people's experiences with Xymox Percussion. I've taken a lot of time to watch videos, hear other people's opinions, and really get a good understanding of how the community feels about Xymox Percussion and people's experiences with their products. I don't necessarily have the time in this video to cover every single video reviewing or talking about or exposing Xymox Percussion on YouTube. However, I did make a playlist featuring a lot of really helpful and insightful reviews that are very informative down below. So check those out and give those guys a view. I think it will be worth your while and gives them the attention and support that they deserve for making those videos. However, there is one creator here on YouTube that has made several videos that are really insightful and really informative that I really enjoyed watching and wanted to feature in this video. That content creator is the Snare Man. The Snare Man made 2 videos about the Xymox hybrid snare drum last year. These videos were incredibly insightful and I encourage you guys to go watch them. Links in the description. For the sake of time, I'm going to summarize these 2 videos really quickly, but like I said, please go watch the videos. In his first video, the Snare Man does an in-depth review of the Xymox hybrid snare drum. In this video, he talks about how it took him a year to receive his order. Overall, he really loved the drum and thought it sounded great. However, waiting for an entire year for the product was really frustrating, and he sent many frustrated emails to Xymox Percussion before he ultimately received his order. After this video, he made a second follow-up video about the Xymox hybrid snare drum, and in this video he addresses many problems he ran into with the orders that he received, and also his experience talking with Xymox Percussion. The first drum that he received had an issue with the snare strainer, so he ultimately sent that drum back to Xymox Percussion, and Xymox said that he would receive his order soon, and that they would fix the issue. He had a second drum, however this drum had an issue with the rim, and the rim of that drum broke completely, rendering the drum useless and unplayable. This is a description from the follow-up video that he made on the Xymox hybrid snare drum, and I think this description really summarizes his feelings well, and I'm going to go and read this for you all now. It took a year for the Xymox hybrid snare drum that I ordered to arrive. I love the drum, and it sounds great, and I thought Xymox had turned around their customer service, but it seems they are back to where they always were, as both of the drums that sent me broke. I had 3 problems with 2 drums. Despite being told twice, 2 weeks apart, that they'd put new stuff in the mail, quote-unquote, tomorrow. It's been a month and a half, and I have nothing and can't get a response from anyone there other than a form email response. I feel like this further illustrates my point, my experience, that Xymox Percussion's products are not necessarily the best quality, nor are the products that great at holding up over a long duration of time. Unfortunately, this guy waited for over a year for a product, only for it to break pretty much immediately once he started playing on it. Like I said, that was an extremely brief and quick overview of his videos, but they're incredibly informative. If you ever wanted to hear anything about the Xymox hybrid snare drum, go check his videos out, link in the description. In addition to the Snare Man's videos, as well as all the other videos talking about and exposing Xymox Percussion and highlighting others' negative experiences with the company, I did my own research. I conducted polls across Instagram, Discord, YouTube, and Facebook, and I asked you guys how long it took for you all to receive your Xymox Percussion orders. I received over 200 responses across these 4 social media platforms, and I divided the responses into 3 thresholds. under 4 months or on time for receiving an order, 6 months, or 9+ months, the plus being never received. Out of the 200 plus responses that I received, 3% of users said they received orders on time, so within 4 months. 28% of users said the pad took 6 months to arrive. And 69%, yes, actually 69% of users said that it took the pad 9 months to arrive, or it hasn't even arrived yet. And some of them are saying they've been waiting for the upwards of almost 2 years to receive an order. So I think this is absolutely absurd that this many people, just from my community that I polled, were experiencing this. Seems like the general trend that I'm already getting from my experience and other people's experiences is that it takes forever for the order to arrive, and it's not the highest amount of quality. Everybody has their own opinions about how the pads feel and how they look. I think most of the pads look pretty darn good. However, I don't think the pads are built to last, and I personally don't think that the pads are that great quality. Alright, so lastly, I want to talk about Xymox's professional reputation as a business. There's a lot of different things that I want to cover in this section, but first I want to talk about Xymox Percussion's website and also their social media presence. Xymox Percussion's website is quite unique in comparison to other drum pad companies and other music companies in general. One thing that stands out to me though, and that a lot of people don't realize about Xymox Percussion, is they have no review section for customers on their website. None at all. There's no reviews, not even fake botted reviews saying, this pad is so great, 5-star review. Not even that. They don't even have any reviews whatsoever. Because of this lack of reviews on their actual website, customers end up using external third-party review sites for businesses to write their reviews, and most of them are pretty bad in reviewing. But we'll get into those later. As I mentioned earlier, Xymox Percussion has a large social media following. However, 3 of those social media pages, they're Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, are inactive. And those pages have been inactive for over 2 years now. The only page that is active for Xymox Percussion right now, as of today, as I'm making this video, is their Instagram page. However, Xymox Percussion has turned off commenting on all of their posts and also does not reply to instant messages on Instagram. Between not having reviews on your website and purposely turning off comments on social media, this really just shows that Xymox is legitimately censoring customers' negative opinions and also complaints about not receiving their orders. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I don't know. Maybe that's the best thing for Xymox in order to even have a business. But I think it's really, really shady and does not make them seem very transparent and honest about how they're doing. And it definitely seems like they're trying to hide a lot of stuff. Because of the lack of engagement on Xymox Percussion's Instagram, there's been multiple funny Instagram accounts that have risen over the last few years that are Xymox hate accounts or Xymox customer complaint accounts. These accounts are hilarious. I encourage everybody to go look at these. These are the accounts right here. We have Xymox Percussion Fails. I f***ing hate Xymox. Xymox sucks. Xymox Comment Section. I really like that one. And Xymox Users. In addition to these Instagram accounts, I also stumbled across a WordPress site that a previous customer of Xymox made called Xymox Sucks. Same one as the Instagram account, Xymox Sucks. And it's actually kind of a help forum page for those users that are lost trying to figure out the status of their order so that they can talk with other people and file complaints through the site. So, cool site. You should check that out as well. Now, the next few things that I'm going to get into are very important, and I think these are arguably the most important things that really reflect on Xymox Percussion, and I think everybody should know before ever doing business with them ever again. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau is an external third-party complaint website where customers can file reports and complaints about a company that allegedly is kind of like scamming them or ripping them off. Basically, you paid for something, haven't received it, lack of communication. You're basically filing a complaint almost like HR, but to a third-party corporation that contacts Xymox professionally about it under the jurisdiction of the law, actually, and gets Xymox to respond to these customers. There's been over 1,400 total complaints in the last 3 years about Xymox Percussion. Xymox has an average rating of 1.07, basically 1, we'll just round down, out of 5 stars. So 1 out of 5-star review, and they are also not an accredited business with the Better Business Bureau. In addition to all of the complaints and things that I heard from people with the 200 people I polled, that's 1,400 more people that have probably even more serious complaints because they actually went to the Better Business Bureau to complain. They took the time to write a report on a third-party site. You have to understand that that takes time, energy, and that's a lot of investment in getting back at a company, or at least it's gotten to the point where you're upset enough to file a complaint and take all the time to do that. All the claims and reviews on the Better Business Bureau profile for Xymox Percussion are quite shocking and very revealing. They pretty much reveal the same thing. It takes forever for pads to get there, and Xymox is very dodgy with their customer service. I encourage everybody to take a look at that if you ever just want to read through those things. I'm not going to read through those for this video for the sake of time, but take a look at those. A big detail that a lot of people miss about Xymox Percussion is all of the artists and sponsors that Xymox Percussion has had over the years that no longer work with them professionally or are featured in their videos. Xymox Percussion does not have a good reputation as a business, and that bad reputation reflects on anybody that uses their products professionally. For this very last section, I'm going to be talking about some extremely unprofessional things that Xymox Percussion has done over the years. As a heads up, much of the content that I'll be talking about in this section is very explicit. Viewer discretion is advised. First thing I want to talk about is a post that Xymox Percussion made in 2019. This post was removed by Xymox Percussion because of the mountain of hate that they were receiving after putting this post up. This post was of a practically nude model laying on top of a pile of drum mutes that Xymox was advertising, and only her private parts were covered by drum mutes. Now, I'm not going to make the claim that Xymox Percussion is some evil, immoral company for using a woman's body to promote their products, because thousands of other companies, much bigger companies albeit than Xymox, use people's bodies to promote products. That's just the way America is, and that's the way the world is. The main point that I want to make with this post and why this is disturbing to me is because Xymox Percussion's customer base is surprisingly actually younger aged percussionists. Xymox Percussion caters to many middle schoolers and high school percussionists that are new and up and coming and want to get a cool drum pad. And yes, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, with all the things on the internet, kids see stuff like this every day. That's a valid statement. However, legally speaking, Xymox Percussion is not really doing a good thing by putting out a near naked woman's body when they know their audience is primarily minors. They shouldn't even be viewing that, technically, legally speaking. In addition to the questionable social media posts that Xymox Percussion has made, Xymox Percussion has also been said to cuss out customers, allegedly, and be very nasty and almost threaten their customers in email exchanges. I have absolutely no way of determining whether or not the contents of this email are true, so I'm going to have to say this is alleged. However, I'm led to believe that I don't think a customer of Xymox Percussion would fake a email and post it somewhere saying that Xymox Percussion did this if it wasn't true. I don't think anybody would go to that extent. I don't think Xymox Percussion is that big of a company for somebody to fake something to try and destroy their reputation. Keep in mind, this is the owner of Xymox Percussion. This isn't any customer service rep. This is Kevin Herman, Xymox Percussion. But long story short, no company should ever treat customers that way, let alone swear at them, threaten them, or exchange in any form of electronic conversation like that. That's just absolutely appalling. So once again, this is alleged. Don't know if that's true. I feel like there might be some people that have had similar experiences. If you've had, please tell me in the comments down below. I've seen some people that kind of said stuff across social media. However, they didn't have any screenshots or proof like this to back it up. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about that little to no people probably really know about regarding Xymox Percussion is Xymox has actually been taken to court 7 times. It could be more than 7 times. I actually really don't know. However, from the research that I did, I found on Unicourt, there are 7 public cases against Xymox Percussion, against being Xymox Percussion was sued by other companies and also by customers. I don't know the contents of these court cases, what the results were, if Xymox Percussion had to face serious legal penalties. However, I can say that based off the fact that Xymox Percussion is still a business and have not completely shut their doors, or at least told anybody that, I believe they're still operating as a business, and I don't think that Xymox Percussion was breaking the law. I'm not going to make the claim that they ever were. That is not up to me to decide. I don't think that's really up to anybody else other than a judge to decide. But based off the fact that there has been 7 people that have sued them, it's a pretty likely case that Xymox has gotten into some legal trouble, and I don't know how really they've gotten out of that. Not only are some of these cases civil cases between customers, but also cases between other companies that they have professional relationship with. Like I said, don't know the results of these cases, but you can look at them at Unicourt. You have to pay money to look at the documents, and I wasn't about to spend $50 to look at Xymox Percussion's court and legal documents. I really don't have time to do that. So in conclusion, Xymox Percussion takes a long time to deliver orders. I hope everybody can see that that's the most common theme across all orders, and that's pretty much common knowledge among everybody in the marching percussion community at this point. Xymox takes forever, and their customer service really isn't it either. Based off of what I've covered in this video, I hope you all can also see that the quality of the products really isn't there either. My pad broke within a year, the Snare Man's drums broke pretty much instantaneously. One final thing that I want to talk about is the fact that a drum pad is a practice tool. A drum pad is not an actual drum, and a drum pad is not an actual instrument. No matter how hard drum pad companies try, they will never be able to perfectly replicate the sound, weight, rebound, touch, and feel of an actual drum or marching instrument. There is no need to be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars to replicate that exact feel when you can actually save up for a real drum or a real instrument to practice on. I understand that a lot of people buy drum pads because they look cool, sound cool, and because you can use them in many circumstances and locations that you cannot use an actual drum or instrument. However, I still encourage everybody to save up for an actual drum or instrument, because if that is the instrument that you'll be performing on, that is the best thing for you to practice on. There is no pad that can perfectly resemble the instrument that you perform on. I have a call to action for Xymox Percussion. That call to action is this. Xymox, I want to see you guys thrive and flourish. I do not want to see you guys drowning in debt or orders that you can't fulfill. I want to see you guys run a business that's not behind on orders and that can meet the demands of your customers. I want you guys to strive for excellence in everything you guys do. If you guys don't want to do that, that's your guys' decision. But I think you guys can start with being transparent and honest on your social medias, turning on your comments, of course dealing with hate speech and threats from customers, but letting people have their voice and express how frustrated they are with your customer service, I feel like is a really great step at restoring trust with people in the percussion community. And until you guys do that, I really don't have any respect for you guys as a company, and I really do want to see you guys change. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, make sure you do slap a like on it, share this video with your friends and family, comment down below your favorite parts of this video as well as your experiences with Xymox Percussion. Stay tuned for lots of new content this summer. Got lots of videos coming your way, collabs, streams, funny videos, and other drum pad related videos as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.